Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that half the things in your house didn't come from your country, because they didn't. Your phone, your shoes, your food, even the parts that made them. Now imagine all of that, stopping, not slowly, not politely, just stuck. That's when you realize something uncomfortable. Global trade isn't a bonus feature of modern life. It is modern life, and it didn't rise because the world suddenly became friendly. It rose because we made a quiet deal with reality. Here's why that matters right now. Every argument about inflation, supply shortages, factory jobs, or geopolitical tension is really about global trade. So let's break it down in the simplest way possible. No theory, no charts, just the story. For most of human history, trade was tiny. If you lived in a village, you used what that village could make. If you wanted something else, tough luck. Distance was the enemy. Moving goods was slow, expensive, and dangerous. Ships sank. Food spoiled. People stole things. So trade stayed local. Then someone noticed something obvious but powerful. If I'm good at making one thing, and you're good at making another, we both win if we swap. I don't need to be great at everything. I just need to be great at one thing. That simple idea is the seed of global trade. At first it barely grew. Trade routes formed. Spices moved. Silk traveled. But it was rare, slow, and mostly for the rich. The real change came much later. After World War II, the world was shattered. Factories destroyed. Countries broke. And leaders faced a choice. Go back to fighting over resources, or make fighting too expensive to repeat. So they chose trade, not because it was noble, because it was practical. They lowered barriers, standardized shipping, built ports, created rules, and something incredible happened. Trade stopped being about survival. It became about efficiency. Countries leaned into what they did best. Some made machines, some made energy, some made cheap goods, some handled finance. Instead of doing everything poorly, they specialized. The result? Things got cheaper. Choices exploded. Living standards rose. A product that once took months and a fortune to acquire became something you could order in seconds. Global trade didn't just move goods. It changed expectations. We stopped asking, can we get this at all? We started asking, can we get it cheaper? But here's the part people miss. Global trade works only because everyone assumes tomorrow will look roughly like today. Ships will arrive, payments will clear, borders will stay open. That assumption is the hidden engine, and it allowed companies to push efficiency to extremes. No extra inventory, no backup suppliers, no slack. Why store 10 parts when a ship arrives every Tuesday? This made products cheaper. It also made the system fragile. That's the irony. The better global trade worked, the more it depended on nothing going wrong. Then things went wrong. A pandemic froze ports. A single ship blocked a canal. Sanctions cut off entire economies overnight. Suddenly, the cracks were visible. Factories weren't missing demand. They were missing parts. Trade didn't collapse because people stopped wanting things. It slowed because the chain snapped in small places, and this exposed the hype versus reality gap. We're told global trade is about free markets and cooperation. The reality is simpler. It's about cost savings layered on trust, layered on assumptions. When trust weakens, trade doesn't disappear. It changes behavior. Countries start asking different questions. What if access is cut off? What if prices spike? What if partners become rivals? So they adjust. They bring some production home. They build redundancy. They accept higher costs for safety. Not because it's efficient, because it feels safer. That's where we are now. Global trade isn't ending. It's evolving. Slower, more expensive, more political. And the cost shows up quietly. Higher prices, fewer choices, growth that feels heavier. So zoom out. Global trade rose because humans made a deal. We agreed not to do everything ourselves, in exchange for trusting the system to deliver. That trust built the modern world, but trust isn't permanent. It's maintained. And right now the world is renegotiating how much trust it's willing to extend, which leaves one uncomfortable question hanging. If global trade was built on efficiency and belief, what happens when safety matters more than speed? And belief becomes conditional? Because whatever comes next won't feel as cheap. And we're only starting to see the bill.